I find it strange that in Dylan Mortensen's police interrogation, she said she doesn't remember anything or know if it was reality or a dream, but she remembers that she left the back door unlocked that night. Is that not strange? I don't care if they said they left the door open 24/7. She specifically said that she left the door unlocked, and she was one of the people who didn't get unalive. That's weird. Why would they walk past her room if they were looking for her and her room was the first room they would have walked past? Why would a serial unaliver leave a victim, or two victims in this case, that would be able to rat on them? Unless they were a part of the plan and they knew they weren't going to rat because they were a part of the plan. It was a set, a back door, if you will.
Why do you believe you were spared?
I don't know. I've been asking that like nonstop. It kind of freaks me out because I'm just like, I don't really understand why I was spared. Like, I'm a girl. I am 5'10". I'm not that insanely strong. The guy is a lot stronger than I am. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have. That's what I don't understand. And I just like wonder, like, did he know me? Did he not know me? Like, was it because he did know me and didn't want, like, and felt bad, or was it because he did know me and knew I wouldn't recognize him? Like, what was it? That's why. It's just like, that's why I want to. That's like, if we do find this guy, that's like one of the first things I want to know is like, why did you not? You didn't. He never ever tried to open my door. That's what I know. I know nothing. Like, no one tried to open my door.
I don't care who you are. If that don't send cold chills up your spine, I don't know what will. The way that she stumbles through her statements just really makes me feel so weird. My point is, if she literally saw him with her own two eyes and chose not to call the cops, how is she not complicit in this crime? You see a strange man masked in your house in the middle of the night with apparently just bushy eyebrows. That's all she could say. And you just thought it was a joke or something? I don't care even if there was rugs in that house. Why would you not call the cops? Why you hear people screaming as loud as they scream in the new video footage released? And why was from get-go the camera on the house of 1122 King Road, why was that audio not included? Why did Jack D call the cops and say that he was with them that night and they got home between 2 and 2:45 or 2:30 and 2:45 or something, and now we're finding out that crimes happened before that ever happened? Was he lying about the time frame because he knew that if he told the truth they would be able to go back directly to the camera footage and see exactly what happened and piece it all together? Why were the people that were in that house the next morning allowed to go to Mexico and Africa and all these different places? Because personally, I would think during an active investigation that they wouldn't let you just run amok like that. I also find it highly suspicious that they went out of the country and the murder weapon's never been found. Weird. And I mean, seriously, what are the odds that the knife that BK used is the same knife that Dylan Mortensen had pictures with? Obviously, she would have had a sheath identical to that if they had the same knife and it came with that sheath. In the Stephen Avery case, they had like 20 days to find Teresa Halbach's keys. There were several sets of police that came into that home. They never found it. On the day they were supposed to leave, or the day before they were going to have to leave because the warrant expired, they miraculously find Teresa Halbach's keys in front of his dresser or in front of something in his living room. But you're telling me 19 days worth of investigators didn't see them right plumb in front of their face? So you're telling me they're stupid then, right? Why did it take for the third set of cops to find the knife sheath on top of the bed? And don't forget the steak knife that was grabbed and then taken around the house, and then they took it upstairs and it miraculously appears when he said he grabbed a knife and went upstairs to check out the scene. Why would you call your classmates first and not your cops unless you were covering up? Because it's obvious in the new footage that's just been released that there were several people outside, one with the big blue tote. Where was that tote going? Where did those two huge trash bags go? And why is yellow coat guy out checking the dumpster in the middle of the night, which now we know was, I believe it was Nicholas Mowich or Brent Kopaka, I can't remember. And why did both of those guys die too? Why did Brent Kopaka die right after all of this? And what about Nicholas Mowich? Or the fact that Maddie's old roommate had died just months before any of this? I have a lot of questions. I wish Deception Detective would cover this and do statement analysis of Dylan's interrogations, because I'm telling you, there are so many inconsistencies, and they say that liars add details to make themselves sound more believable, but she doesn't. She doesn't sound believable at all. She sounds like knows something and doesn't want to go to jail. Why wouldn't Murphy have barked? My dog hears the wind blow, it barks. Unless the unalivers were in the house when Dylan claims that her and Bethany took the dog out for a potty break. Were they outside when they saw the unaliver?